Hey guys, welcome back to episode number 10 of my entire DVD and Blu-ray collection. Picking up where we last left off. It's been a few weeks, I apologize about that. Need to pre-record these videos. Also, this is a series where I show off my entire collection, DVD by DVD, Blu-ray by Blu-ray, and hell, maybe even VHS by VHS. We might see when we get there. But first, we have a lot more to get through. Going to talk about each DVD that I show very briefly, so let's get into it. First up, Friday the 13th, the remake. This is, of course, the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th. I don't love this. I don't hate it. I place it kind of at the lower end of the franchise, like middle lower end. It's just, it doesn't have much to it. It is just another Friday the 13th, but it's kind of a mediocre one. The beginning is amazing. The first, pre-title sequence is awesome. It is the best part of the movie, and that's a shame. Really looking forward to the next one they do, because Jason is my favorite. Friday the 13th is my favorite franchise, so looking forward to that. But, the remake isn't so bad. After that, we have Freddy vs. Jason. I actually really love this film, but every time I watch it, I point out flaws that oh man, I wish it would have been a little better and stuff. So I try not to watch it that much because I have a great memory of first seeing this 2003 in a drive-in opening night. It was the greatest thing ever. If you would have told me when I was just a little tiny little kid that Freddy and Jason would be on the same screen, it would have blown my mind because it was an insane idea, right? Everybody talked about it, but nobody thought it would really happen. And then it happened. That never happens. That never happens. It happening never happens when you're dealing with, rights issues and stuff like that. So it was a huge, awesome thing, and I still love the movie for that reason alone. Freddy and Jason are on the same screen fighting each other. Just let that sink in. That is amazing. So, after that, we have a 3-pack here. We have Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, Jason X, and Freddy vs. Jason in the little slim packs here. I mainly bought this because it was super cheap at Walmart, and it had the two that I didn't have, which is Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell. I eventually do want to grab that Blu-ray box set, but it's just so expensive right now. I don't know if I'll ever end up getting it before it goes completely out of print, but, I do love the Friday the 13th films, so I kind of need it. Jason Goes to Hell, I think, is underrated. I think a lot of people hate it. I recently just watched it, and it still has the same amount of flaws that I remember, but it's still very enjoyable to me. Jason X, I'm not really a fan of. I know a lot of people do love it, but it's my least favorite in the franchise, hands down. But I still love it in a weird way. Not a fan of it, but I do love it. It's kind of weird. I don't know how that works. I think I just love Jason so much that I have to love it. It's like you can't hate your kid. It's kind of like that. So, yeah, a little 3-pack there. After that, we have His Name Was Jason, which is actually still sealed. I've never opened this. Now, I have watched His Name Is Jason before. I actually watched it right before I went and seen the remake in the theater after marathoning the entire series. But I never had a reason to check it out again. And I even had less of a reason when I ended up grabbing Crystal Lake Memories. So maybe one day I will check it out just, to see the difference. It's been, since 2009 since I've seen it. But yeah, grabbed that really cheap. After that, we have Fright Night. Great movie, great movie. I don't love it as much as, say, Moods. It's one of his favorites. It's not my favorite vampire movie. I do find it a little slow at times, but it definitely has that, almost Disturbia quality to it, Rear Window style, which I really like about it, and it's a good vampire film for sure. It's definitely one of, my favorites in terms of the best vampire films that I've seen, but just not as big of a fan of it as most people are. After that, we have Fright Night 2. No, this is not the original Fright Night 2. This is the sequel. So it's kind of weird. I have the original Fright Night and I have the sequel to the remake, but I do not have the sequel to the original or the remake. Kind of is weird how that works. I need the remake because I like the remake. This is actually still sealed. I've never opened this and checked it out. I'm actually waiting to revisit the remake and then watch this, even though I'm not even sure if they have continuity, but Mood said he actually likes this one, which I'm calling bullshit on right now because he hates the remake, and the remake is awesome, and he likes this. Of course, I haven't seen it, but I just find that hard to believe. The direct-to-video sequel is better, but it could be. It's been like that before. So after that, we have From Dusk Till Dawn 4 film set. We have From Dusk Till Dawn 1, From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money, From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter, and Full Tilt Boogie, which I'm actually not even sure what that is. But I'll tell you what, From Dusk Till Dawn is awesome, and I've never seen the sequels, but I want to check them out because I do have the TV series on Blu-ray, and I want to see these films before I continue watching the Blu-ray season set, because I hear that they kind of redo the sequels in the TV show. So I want to check them all out. Unfortunately, this is an Echo Bridge terrible release, but you know, I needed to get these films somehow, and that was the cheapest way. After that, we have the Fog remake, which is just an absolute garbage movie. This is literally, I remembered watching it, you know, when it came out, and even thought it was garbage then, so I really don't see a reason to ever rewatch this piece of trash unless I'm covering it on the podcast or something. But $14.99, I did not pay that for this garbage, but I bought it in an eBay lot multiple times. For some reason, everybody is giving away the Fog remake. I've said that before, but it's so crazy. You can find the Fog remake in any lot because nobody fucking wants it, and neither do I. But I'll keep it in the collection because I am sort of a completist, and yeah, you know, I don't know. After that, we have Forget Me Not, which, you know what? I don't even know if I've ever watched this. I really don't know if I ever watched this, but that's weird. I don't even remember having this. This barely ever happens to me, but Forget Me Not, don't really know what it is. After that, we have The Forsaken. This one was one that I picked up recently. Terrifying, the sexiest vampire movie since The Lost Boys. It's not really what I, you know, am looking for when I watch a vampire movie, but who knows, maybe it'll be decent. I've heard kind of mixed things. After that, we have Found, and this just barely missed my top 10 of last year, best films of 2014. Very, very good stuff here. Super, super good indie film. Very, very well done. I highly recommend checking it out. It's from Macabre label by Exhilarator Media, which I want to pick up some more of these. After that, we have Frozen, which is probably my favorite blind buy ever. This was in the days where I just kind of started collecting again, and it was just released kind of 2010-ish, I believe, on Blu-ray or on DVD. Picked it up at a Walmart, took it home, watched it, absolutely loved it, fell in love with it, found out who Adam Green was. You know, I think I'd already had Hatchet, but I didn't know it was the same guy. Started listening to all of his commentaries on all of his films, bought every one of his films. And, you know, now he's literally one of my favorite filmmakers. I still need to pick up Digging Up the Marrow, though. I just love his films for some reason. I don't know. They're pretty good. I mean, this is an actual, genuinely, really well-made movie. But, like, the Hatchet and stuff is not the greatest, like, made films, but I do like them. After that, we have Furnace, which is absolutely awful. You got Jarreau, you got Danny Trejo, Paul Wall, Tom Sizemore. This is awful. I did watch this, and I can't remember anything about it. After that, we have Gangs of the Dead, which I believe is sort of like a hood horror. That's why I picked it up, because I have a fascination with horror films set in the hood. Zombie Gangsters. Who knows? I still haven't watched it. For being having a fascination with hood horror, I actually have a few that I haven't seen, so I don't know what that says about me. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Not the biggest fan of the Ghostbusters films, to be honest. I thought I would be. I seen this set at like Walmart for $7.88 a few years ago. I was really excited. I was like, oh, you know, I remember seeing these films when I was a kid, but I barely remember them. You know, everybody loves these things. I'm gonna love them. Like Beetlejuice, I can't wait to watch it. And then I was just like, huh, they're good. They're decent. I don't know. I don't get the love for the Ghostbusters films, and my God, like hearing about Ghostbusters 3 had made me just want to not hear the name Ghostbusters, because every news site, every 3 months, every 2 months, would post news rumors about Ghostbusters 3. I guess it's actually finally happening, but yeah. After that, we have Ghosts of Mars, $3, pick up at Big Lots. I think this is one of John Carpenter's more underrated movies. I love this movie, and a lot of people hate it, but I actually really like it. Hell of a lot better than Village of the Damned. Ice Cube, Natasha Henstridge, which I don't know who that is, but yeah. We have Ghosts of Mars. That might be the chick from Species, but yeah, I really do like Ghosts of Mars. I honestly do. After that, we have Ghoulies 1 and 2, which I do need to grab that Scream Factory Blu-ray just because it's Scream Factory, and I'm a fan of their releases, I would say. Yep, Ghoulies 1 and 2, MGM, shoulda known. Then we have an 8-movie horror pack here, and that is the collection that Lionsgate put out. You have Waxwork, 976 Evil 2, of course, Ghoulies 3, The Unholy, Chud 2, Chopping Mall, Slaughter High, and Class of 1999. All of these are fun movies, not necessarily good movies. Waxwork is classic. I have the double feature there. 976 Evil 2 I actually do think was pretty fun, but it's been a while since I've seen it. Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College, terrible, but still kind of fun. The Unholy is one of the better movies in this pack. Chud 2, awful, probably the worst movie in this pack. Chopping Mall, good stuff, fun, robotic, slasher type thing. Slaughter High, decent, solid slasher, and of course Class of 1999, which is actually pretty solid. It's kind of sequel-ish to Class of 1984. And then finally for this part we have Ghoulies 4, which is awful, but for some reason I still enjoy it. So those are my DVDs for part number 10. I'll see you guys in part 11. Peace out.